Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. So we'll cover the current affairs of yesterday as well as today. I hope my audio video is clear. Yeah. Is there any issue? There is an issue. Yes, I hope this is clear now. So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. First one, Starliner project. So this is part of science and technology. Second one, India's coal production. This is part of economy, a very important data we have. Then we have Zika virus. This is part of science and technology again. Then Rigveda, which is art and culture or history we can say as well, right? As part of literature, right? Next one, Vivekananda Rock Memorial. So this is part of, you can say, culture. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister has visited this, right, for meditation. So it may be asked in the exam as well. India's foreign direct investment inflow. So very, very important data we got from DPIIT, which is under Ministry of Commerce. So this is a very important article as part of economy, right? Then millet production. So again, it is part of economy. Anything related to the agriculture, if it is related to the geographical thing, right? So where this is located, what are the conditions to be cultivated, those comes under the part of geography. But whatever the agriculture data, like how much production has been done, how much rupees has been contributed, so all these things comes under the economy part, right? Then Nipah virus, again science and technology. Then James Webb telescope, again science and technology. We have a very good number of articles every day from science and technology. And then some factual pointers as well as practice questions. So these are the articles that we are going to discuss today. A very good evening, Malini. Welcome to the session. So let's start without any delay. The first article for today is Starliner project. Why this was there in news? This was in the Hindu yesterday's news edition. And the top very small display was mentioned that there is a first crewed mission of Boeing. That means there are crew means people who are going to travel to the space. So this was halted. This was halted second time. Already it was halted. So in the last minute they have halted because of some failure or some discrepancies in the satellite system, right? But anyway, that is not very big concern for us. We need to know about what actually is a Starliner project. That is important for us, right? So this is a crewed mission with the two NASA astronauts, right? So the launch is done by private organization, that is Boeing. The Starliner project is related to which organization also they may ask. So this is of Boeing, the company, but the astronauts are from NASA, right? So this aim is to launch, to test this particular rocket, whether it can put the crew mission, that is human mission, into the space or not. Or if it is placed, can it be possible to sustain for longer time? So it is just a testing, right? Of course, there will be, even if there is any failure, there will be escape systems also. It is not harm to the astronauts, right? As of now, apart from NASA, there is a SpaceX of Elon Musk, right? Now NASA is completely dependent on the SpaceX. So it is diversifying it. It is encouraging the private organization. So that's why Boeing is going to test itself with the Starliner project, where it can test whether it can has the capabilities to put humans into the space, right? So that is the objective of this. And this is going to be launched using rocket Atlas V rocket, Atlas 5 rocket, right? So this is a satellite where the crew will also be put. The big satellite where even crew will also, so it will see the specifications as well. And Atlas 5 is the rocket which is launching this particular satellite, right? So if there is a satellite sitting in between, in the rocket at the top stage, of course this will be put in the, right? This will be put in the orbit, this satellite will be put, and all this rocket will come aside. But anyway, as this is a crewed mission, that means humans are in this orbit, it also need to come back to the land, right? Because we are sending it as a crewed mission. We cannot just leave those things, unlike the normal rockets. So they need to come back. Usually, whenever there is a satellites which are coming back to the Earth after reaching to the space, these are reach on the ocean. So they are landed on the ocean because of safety issues. It may fire up and all. So that's why most 99% of the satellites come back and land on the sea. But this Starliner is going to land on the land itself, right? So such a success thing. So they can save a lot of money and all if it is able to launch on the land, land on the actual land, right? So this will be the Starliner's first crewed mission flight. Till now they did not test, but this is going to be test. Like SpaceX is a company or a brand of space. Similarly, Starliner is a brand of Boeing, like how SpaceX is of Elon Musk, right? So it is going to be a second private firm. Apart from SpaceX, it is going to be the second one if it is successful. But anyway, it was halted, right? So what are all will be there? There are certain specifications. The satellite is 5 meters tall. The satellite, the whole system of satellite is 5 meters tall and 4.6 meters wide. This is not very important for us, but anyway, just visualize. That means a human will be approximately 1.8 to 2 meters at max. So this is a 5 meters and width is of 4.5 or 4.6 meters approximately. So it can halt. There are two modules, that means payloads, the systems within satellite. If this is a satellite, there are two modules, right? Two systems within satellite. One is for the people, the crew. It can have a capacity up to 7 people. So 7 astronomers can sit in this module. And other one is service module, where electricity supply, propulsion, air, water, everything is carried in this particular module. So there are two modules within this satellite. Fine. One is for astronauts to sit there and do whatever the activities, and other one is for other purpose like electricity supplication, that whatever required oxygen cylinders, air, water, everything will be sitting there, right? About the mission, so this is aim is to board the crew, as we have already discussed. So it is to board in the International Space Station. So this will be landed in the International Space Station, a space where satellites can be launched and tested for different purposes. So it is for 10 days it will stay in the space. So it means it is testing itself whether it has capacity to launch the crew in the space. That is the objective you need to remember, right? So that was failed and they are planning to relaunch again. That is about the Starliner's crew mission, right? Boeing Starliner crew mission. Any doubts in this? Very good evening, Keshav. Any doubts in this? You need to understand, right? What is the objective? That is important. And then specifications, yes, who launch, all these things are also important, right? I hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, please do let me know. The next article, and a very important article, you need to understand it is the analysis based rather than blindly mugging up the facts. You need to understand what actually is the issue. This was a very good article published in the Hindu yesterday, Sunday's edition. So we'll see what actually this is. India's coal production. The context is why the article was published. The context is recently a report, Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. It is a report given by private organization. It claimed that, understand, we need coal for electricity, right? So this is India. Let's take example. We need coal for generating certain electricity wherever, like in whichever, say for example, this has happened in Tamil Nadu. Now the report said Adani Group, right? Adani is a private firm. It said that they have imported cheap quality coal from Indonesia. This is not very important to remember countries and all, but yes, you need to understand the issue, right? So this Adani has imported the coal from Indonesia, which is a cheaper quality, and then they sold it to Tamil Nadu power generation company, government company, PSU, by quoting that it is a high quality one. So they might have bought it for 10 rupees, for example, because this is a cheaper quality, and they might have sold it for 20 rupees. Just taking an example. That means what? They have taken cheap quality one from Indonesia and they said that it is a high quality coal and sold it to PSU. That means what? They are getting more profit from it by misquoting it or misdoing activities, right? So this is what happened. the report has published, right? Because of this, there is a lot of data also given by the Hindu article, that also we will see. I hope the issue is clear, right? Yeah. Now, what is the quality of coal? We have seen just now that quality difference is there, cheap quality coal or high quality coal. How can you decide it is a good quality or bad quality coal, right? Before that, let's understand what actually is a coal. Whatever the plant material, organic material lied under the land for hundreds of years, thousands of years, it becomes a blackish coal, right? And it is a mixture of, understand, coal is a mixture of carbon, very common. Even in our body, there is a lot of carbon dating and all happens because almost all living beings has the carbon. Similarly, as the coal is nothing but a whatever the plant materials over the years, right, stayed under the ground, it is called as a coal. So coal consists of carbon and then ash content, dust particles, which is very less required, but still it is there, naturally it's form part of coal, and then moisture with other impurities, So this is the composition of coal. They will ask you in the exam also. Coal consists of what? Carbon, ash, moisture and other impurities, right? Now, how can you judge it as a quality coal? It is based on gross calorific value, like how much extra energy per kg, how much high amount of heat it can generate, right? Based on the gross calorific value, we can judge whether the coal is very high quality or low quality, right? Based on this only they can judge, right? Determines the gradation of the coal. Also, higher the availability of carbon, that means within the coal, for example, 1 kg coal, this is 10%, 10%, 30%, 40%, whatever may be the composition. But if there is a high amount of carbon availability, it is a good quality coal. So understand, if there is a, I have made also one question also, you need to answer at the end, right? So the carbon, if there is a high amount of carbon in a per kg coal, it means it is a high quality. Not only gross calorific value, but also high amount of carbon also is a good quality one. And low ash and low moisture. So moisture and ash should be less. Carbon should be more, ash and moisture should be less. Then only it will have a high gross calorific value. Understand? Carbon required, the percentage of carbon in that coal should be high, ash and moisture content, other impurities should be less. Then it is considered as a high, it has a gross calorific value of higher one, and then it is classified as a good quality one. So this is a important one to understand. Now, the most important uses of coal, we have seen what actually is a coal, how it is formed, and what is a good quality and bad quality coal. So whenever there is a high amount of ash and moisture in the coal, it means it is a bad quality, right? So where we are using this coal, there are two important uses. First, thermal power plants where electricity generation happens, and second one is in blast furnace when producing the steel. So the two most important role of coal, right, is thermal power plants and blast furnace in steel production. So just understand that thermal power plants to generate electricity and then production of steel. So these two are the main things that are produced from coal, right? So this is also one important thing. And in the making of steel, as we have seen, thermal power plants and then blast furnaces as well in terms of this production of steel. So in this process of producing steel, there is a coking coal. So this is the essential component for the blast furnace. When we are producing steel, we require coking coal, right, which is having a high carbon content and all, and then very less amount of ash content. If there is a high amount of ash content and all, then steel quality will be degraded. That's why coking coal, which is a type of coal only with high carbon content, is required, right? So this is a very important thing you need to remember. I hope this is clear. Now, there is also few data given by the article that in 2023-24 financial year, that means April 1, 2023 to March 31, 2024, India has produced total 997 million tons of steel. This is also one important, with a growth of 11%. See, again I am telling this because in terms of economic subject, like you will be dealing a lot of economics, whatever exam you write, the questions, some 30% are coming from the static part and the rest of all are coming from the current affairs. So you need to know this data. How much steel produced, how much growth rate was seen. So this is the total amount, million tons of 997, the production has happened, and there is a growth of 11% compared to the last year, right? And most of the coal in India is produced by a government itself, PSU, that is Coal India Limited. There is very less scope for the private organization. Most of the coal is produced by nothing but Coal India Limited, right? So these are the facts given in the article, though they are not very relevant for the actual context, right? So you need to know about these things. Now coming back to the context, we have seen Adani Group has taken the cheap quality coal and they have sold it for the high quality, as it was a high quality coal. Now let's understand the characteristics of Indian coal, like the type of coal which is produced within Indian borders. Why we are taking from other countries, that and all we will see here, right? I hope this is clear. Correct, Ramya, yes. Carbon level, bituminous coal has high calorific value, very good, yes. So some students might be from civil engineering background or some technical background. So very good that you have answered, right? Now what is the characteristics of coal produced in India? Why we are taking from other countries? Why we are not using our coal? So that is also important. This is because Indian coal has less carbon content, high ash content, high impurities and low calorific value. So it means what? Our coal that we are producing within India are not high quality coal. So if these things are used in the steel production and all, so steel quality also will degrade, and the amount of electricity required, the amount of money involved, and the emissions also. Bad quality coal emits lot of carbon dioxide and all. Good quality coal can reduce the climate impact. So all these things are negative for India because we were not able to produce the good quality coal. So this is also important, right? This was justified with some examples also, like just to justify the actual context that India is having the less quality coal. So on an average, ash content of India's coal is 40%. That means if you take 1 kg of coal, out of that 400 grams is nothing but a ash content. Whereas in case of import coal from other countries, it is only 10% ash. That means carbon content is more in other countries' coal. That's why we are importing most of the coal, because we require a quality coal, right? And also, if there is a high amount of ash content in the coal, as we have 40%, it leads to the particulate matter, soot material. You might have seen in the coal plants, small particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10, it releases into the atmosphere and it is dangerous for the climate, right? So these are all the nature of coal in India, the quality of coal in India. Now what is this clean coal? That was also discussed in the article. What actually this is a clean coal? Wherever there is a high carbon content, whenever there is a high carbon content and less amount of ash, it is nothing but a good quality coal, right? So this is the definition. And also, to make the bad quality coal to good quality coal, we have a process also. One is washing the coal itself. Washing plants are there. They will wash the coal. There is a technicality involved. They will remove the ash content, and then they will make the coal much purified with a good carbon content. So we can make the impure coal or bad quality coal towards a good quality coal by using the washing plants who washes the coal, right? That is one process. And second process is, rather than using directly coal as an input, we can also convert into gas. The coal can also be converted into gas, and then they can use the input as well. So coal gasification is also called as a good quality coal or clean coal. You can say clean coal, right? Two types, washing the coal, and second one is converting the coal into gas and then using as an input. So those are called as the clean coal, right? So this is about the very good article related to the coal. We have discussed the context, what has happened, and then we have seen what actually is a coal, what is a good quality, bad quality coal, what is the composition of a coal, right? And then we have seen the characteristics of India's coal, and then what is clean coal also we have discussed. Any doubts in this? Ranjan, yes, there are methods. We have just seen coal washing, right? Coal washing is a technology which we can reduce the ash content. There are methodologies, but they are having high costs. Like for producing 1 kg, we required 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So that means companies are not interested, and even the cost of coal or electricity will also be increased because the processes are expensive. That's why if it is a naturally found with a good quality, so we can reduce our cost. That's the main intention, to import the coal. Yes, we do have technology, but it is a very expensive one, right? So that is about the coal. I hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, please do let me know. Else we'll move to the next article, that is Zika virus. Zika virus. The context is, there was a study conducted by private research organization that if there was a Zika virus in a person earlier, like it was cured now, but if that person has subjected to Zika virus earlier in his life or her life, right, it may, the particular persons may affected by dengue virus in a much higher manner than those people who hasn't faced any Zika virus, right? So two persons are there, one person is already having Zika virus earlier and other person does not have Zika virus earlier. So person who has experienced Zika virus may affect higher in case of dengue virus. Both are caused with the same Aedes mosquito only, same thing, right? Same virus as well. So that is the context, that is the study, right? Now we need to know about the Zika virus. That is our intention or requirement. Sir, in share market, yes, Shinkal Shinde, there are shares in the Coal India. So PSUs means 51% is under the government. Rest of the shares are given in the share market. So Coal India Limited is held by not only government but also private organizations or individuals. Even you can buy the share. But Coal India Limited 51%, the majority shares are with the government. That's why it is a public sector unit. If government sells it shares to the private organization, it may become the private. Like Air India, how it has given the shares and all to the private holders. Yes, Coal India do have shares given in the market, right? But majority ones are held by the government itself, right? So let's see about the Zika virus now. It is a mosquito-borne disease, fine. So that means what? If mosquito bites and transmit the virus, it can cause the Zika virus. I mean, it can lead to the Zika disease, right? So this case was first time recognized in the Zika forest. The forest name itself Zika. That means Zika is a place in Uganda, right? So from that particular area they have discovered this disease or virus for the first time. That's why it is called as a Zika virus based on the place. And it is found in the Uganda. It was discovered in 1947. That means our independence year. You can easily remember, right? It is transmitted primarily to humans through bite of infected mosquitoes, that is Aedes mosquito, which causes Aedes aegypti as well as Aedes mosquitoes, both dengue and chikungunya. So the virus which is causing Zika virus is also a cause for dengue and chikungunya. Same, these three diseases has the same mosquito, right? It can also spread through sexual contact. When there is a sexual contact between the individuals, either genders and all, like, so that can also lead to the Zika virus. So it is possible through sexual contact. It also possible through blood transfusion. If one person blood is affected by Zika virus and then transferred to other person, that will also lead to the Zika disease or Zika virus transmission. So we are discussing the modes of transmission: mosquito, sexual contact, and then blood transfusion. And one more is there: if a mother is affected by a Zika virus during her pregnancy, the child will also have the Zika virus disease, right? So this can be transmitted from mother to child during the pregnancy as well, right? Usually this is a mild one. It is not very high intense, but yes, sometimes if the person's what you call the resistance is very less, so it may also lead to the death, right? So there is a disease, two diseases which are caused by Zika virus. One is neurological disorders or microcephaly. We have seen microcephaly just a few days back, a condition where heads will become smaller and the brain thinking power, neurological things are less, like when compared to the normal persons. So this microcephaly can be occurred through Zika virus. Also there is one more disease, Guillain-Barré syndrome, where muscles becomes weak, right, and then crumble, like their muscles and all weak. That is called as Guillain-Barré syndrome. So these two diseases may cause due to the Zika virus, right? So that is also important, and there is no approved vaccines or no specific treatment for Zika virus. So this is a dangerous one, right? But scientists are in the process to test the, to generate or to manufacture vaccines, but as of now we don't have any approved vaccines or specific method to treat this disease. So these are all important facts. Any doubts from this particular article? Any doubts from this particular article? If not, we'll move to the next article, that is Rigveda. Rigveda. So let's go back to little bit back to the history. We have a Stone Age, you all know. We have Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age, Neolithic Age, based on the use of stones. Like big stones if you use, that is called as Paleolithic. Then stones become lesser, Mesolithic. Then even smaller, Neolithic. After that, we had a Harappan civilization. Starting from 2400 BC till approximately 600 BC, we had a Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization is the one which is having the urbanization in the northwest India as well as northern part of India. So this is the Harappan civilization, and Harappan civilization has suddenly collapsed. We don't have any reasons. The archaeologists still finding it. There is no reasons how it has collapsed. It has started in 2400, but any civilization should have some reasons for its collapse, but we don't have any reasons. But after that, we have a Rigvedic age. Rigvedic age, and these people are relatively rural people. Harappan civilization people are urban people, and these people are Rigvedic age. Like Aryans came into India from different parts, right? So these people are a relatively rural population. So in between this, what has happened? Till now we don't know. Why Harappan civilization has collapsed, how the people of Rigvedic, there are some proposals, but we don't know exactly reasons in between these two ages what has happened, right? So that's why now the scientists in this particular situation, I have explained you the background. Now they are trying to get back, they are studying the Rigveda, which is the earliest Veda among the four. We have four Vedas: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda, right? Out of that, Rigveda is the earliest one. These are all, we will see what actually are Vedas. So in this period, we don't have exactly what has happened. That's why scientists are trying to do more research in the Rigveda to find out the connection between the people of Harappa and Rigveda, right? That is the context. There was an article in the Hindu yesterday on Sunday newspaper, right? Now, what are Vedas? Vedas are religious books of Hindus. They are the earliest Sanskrit literature where number of things were discussed there, related to the religion, related to the caste, related to the life, and what is the origin of life, who are all gods. Everything was discussed in this Rigveda. So these are all Vedas, are the literatures of Hinduism, and they are the earliest one from written in Indo-European languages. There are certain Sanskrit is the Indo-European language. So these are the ones which are written first in the Indo-European languages, right? Through the Indo-European languages, these are the first literatures written in the whole world, right? So this is about the Vedas. They are written in Sanskrit, and you need to know they are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism. They are written in Sanskrit. They are origin of Indo-European languages, right? And Rigveda is the oldest Veda among the four Vedas, right? So that is also important fact. And this Rigveda is divided into 10 volumes. That means 10 books were subdivided, and those are called as mandalas, right? Mandalas, 10 subdivisions or volumes are each called as mandalas, fine. And there are total 10,600 verse and 1028 hymns, that is chantings and all, 1028 are there. These are facts that you need to remember. And the first text, this was the first text written in Indo-European language that I already discussed, right? So it offers about the origin of God, life and all. It also talks about the God, Prajapati. So in Hinduism, this may be also asked in exam because this is a Rigveda, right? From exam also, point of also it is important. So Prajapati was the first god that have ever known. Rigveda told that our first god is Prajapati. So they may ask you the name also, right? So that is also important. Also Rigveda has Gayatri mantra as well. Gayatri mantra is one of the most popular. When you wake early morning in the rural villages, you will listen this, right? So Gayatri mantra is also from Rigveda. Fine. So that is a factual article. I hope that is clear, and you need to remember the facts. Fine. Next one, Vivekananda Rock Memorial. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has visited there, and then he has done meditation for some approximately 45 hours in Victoria Rock Memorial in Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. So he has ended his fast yesterday. That's why there was an article in the Indian Express about Vivekananda Rock Memorial. Politically, that is not relevant for us. Always be neutral as you are going to be a government servant. Whoever in the post of Prime Minister, President and all, they are government, you need to check, you need to see in that perspective itself. You should not have any affiliations and then I don't read because I don't like this person and all. No. For exam point of view, you should be neutral, and even after entering into the service also, you should always be neutral and serve for the goodwill of the people, right? You should not have any political affiliations, right? So this is what happened, that is the context. Now let's know about the Vivekananda Rock Memorial. Vivekananda Rock Memorial. It is located in Kanyakumari's Vavaturai beach. So this is a very important Vavaturai beach. This Victoria Rock Memorial is located in this particular beach. They will ask you in the exam on Tamil Nadu. Fine. Swami Vivekananda, you all know, one of our saints, greatest saints in our modern history. Swami Vivekananda has said to be, it is believed to be that he has done meditation here in 1892 after coming back from the USA and other foreign tours, right? He has visited a lot of foreign tours, and you all know how in Chicago he has given a speech and everyone of Englishmen stand, and he got a standing ovation. So such a great speech he has delivered. After coming back, he has done the meditation in 1892 and he died in 1897 around that, right? That was the prominence of this, right? It is situated on Rock Island at southernmost tip of Indian Peninsula, right? So it is like this is the Kanyakumari, this is Lakshadweep Sea, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. So it is located at this point, right? The southernmost, almost southernmost, fine. Now here we have a bronze statue. So it is made of bronze, not gold and all. They may change this also in the statements. So there is a bronze statue of Swami Vivekananda there, fine. This memorial consists of two structures, Vivekananda Mandapam and Sripada Mandapam. Two mandapas are there, Vivekananda Mandapa and Sripada Mandapas, right? And this memorial was inaugurated by V.V. Giri, Varahagiri Venkatagiri, our former president, in 1970, right? This is also important, fine. So that is about it was added here, fine. So this is the Vivekananda statue which should have been here, right? So Vivekananda statue, fine. Any doubts in this? Factual in nature, there is no concept as such. This is the most important article for today. We have a very good data which will be damn sure be asked in the exam, right? India's foreign direct investment inflows 2023-24 report was published by DPIIT, right, under Ministry of Commerce, and it said that inflows has dipped when we compare to the last year. When we compare to last year, the inflows of FDIs has dipped, it said, right? That is the context. Now, what actually is FDI? Anyone? So foreign direct investment means those money which are flowing from other country people or companies who are investing in India, right? So this is India, and whatever the countries come inside and invest in India, those are called as FDIs. They are creating employment, they are creating companies, they are creating infrastructure. Those are called as FDIs, right? And DPIIT was the nodal agency for formulating or regulating the FDIs, Department for Promotion of Industrial and Internal Trade, under Ministry of Commerce. This is under Ministry of Commerce. This is the responsible organization in taking care of the FDI, right? And FDI is permitted in two ways. One is government route where they have to take permission. So if the company, for example, I am a US person and I want to invest in India, certain sectors like defense, all those things which are important for country, they are done through government route. That means I need to apply for permission from the government, then only I can invest. And there are certain sectors which are automatic route. That means there is no requirement of the government permission. I can directly register with the local authorities, I can do the business, right? So based on the importance, they have categorized into two, fine. Now the key highlights of the report, this is the most important one for us. all the facts that you need to remember. Hope you are following. In case of any doubts, please do let me know, right? So as per the data released, FDI flows in 2023-24 starting from April 1, 2023 till March 31, 2024. In this period, we got total FDI of 44.42 billion. A very, very important thing, right? Very, very important. Contracts, that means it has reduced. Last year it was 3.49% extra. That means approximately you can take 48, 49 approximately. But this year it was dipped. So this figure is very, very important for us. This is the amount of FDI that India has received. And among the states, Maharashtra is the one which has received the highest FDIs, followed by Gujarat and Karnataka. Top three states which is receiving FDI is very important for you. Maharashtra, Gujarat and Karnataka are the top three FDI receiving states. Next one, Singapore was the top source from which country we are receiving, right? That is also important. In this financial year, we received more funds, highest funds from Singapore, followed by Mauritius and USA. So top three countries are Singapore, Mauritius and USA are the ones which we received the highest FDI, right? That is also important. And between 2000 and 2024, this data was also given. So starting from 2000, right, in the last 24 years, this is for financial year. This also you need to remember, and you need to remember about last 24 years as well. That will also be asked in the exam, right? Among the top 5 countries which has contributed for India's FDI together in the all 24 years, top was Mauritius. In the last year was Singapore, but in the last 24 years, it is Mauritius, followed by Singapore, USA, Netherlands, Japan. So top 3 you can remember, Mauritius, Singapore, USA. Here top 3 for single year, Singapore, Mauritius, USA, right? Now among the sectors, which sectors FDI has really received more? Computer software and hardware is the highest FDI that we have got from 2023-24, followed by service sector, right? Top 2, that is sufficient for us. Top 5 sectors receiving FDI in last 24 years. This is also important. This is for year, this is for 24 years. Service sector has the highest one, followed by computer software, hardware and trading, right? So these are the important data. Any doubts in this? A very factual, but yes, a very, very important article for us. Oh, sorry, I have seen your comments just now. Ranjan, due to multiple attack by Aryan age, Harappan civilization get degraded. It is just a proposal, but it is not exactly known because there was a time difference when Aryans has arrived and Harappan civilization has completed. So in between that, there is a gap. That means what? Even before Aryans emerging, there was some reason. There are some reasons like floods. There are some reasons like earthquakes. So there is a lot of things, but we exactly don't know. Shrinkale Shinde, sir, when the IS online launch share market course? Exactly, I'm not aware. You can mail to the ACE online, Shrinkale, about the course that you are asking for. Fine? Okay, great. We'll move to the next article, that is millet production. Again, this is a very important part of economy only. RBI annual report 2023-24 has released, and it said that there is a stagnant millet production throughout India. Right? So that means production has not increased, it is saying. Fine? That means stagnant. Now what are millets? Millets are the grass seeds. You can take jowar, bajra, right? And then ragi. All these are called as millets. That means they are grown from grass, right? And they are coarse grains. Coarse means having a size with a specific size, and they are not exactly merged, right? So coarse grains and the grass based cereals, and they are drought resistant. That means they require a very less amount of rainfall or water when we compare to the wheat, sugar cane or rice and all. They are drought resistant, and they have a nitrogen fixation. For every plant, nitrogen is required, right? Nitrogen is the most required. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium are the main requirement, and that's why we are using urea. Urea will also release nitrogen for the plants. So they are nitrogen fixation. That means some bacteria from there, they have capacity to generate nitrogen naturally rather than from fertilizers, right? So drought resistant as well as nitrogen fixation crops. And among the different millets we have, sorghum or jowar in locally is the most biggest millet crop in the world. This will also be asked in the exam. Sorghum or jowar is the largest millet crop in the world, right? These millets have high micronutrients like proteins, fats, carbohydrates. So you just know that there is a multiple micronutrients. Fine. This is the most important one. This was taken from News 18 newspaper source, right? So this colors, green means what? Green here means yes, pearl millet, right? And then orange here means Bernard millet. So just to make you understand which area is growing which crop. So they may also ask you, for example, you are from Tamil Nadu. You need to know which type of millets it is growing if you are writing a state PSC. So you can see sky blue, that is prose millet. So you can just screenshot this and try to, at least from your state, which one is a major crops, right? So for example, I am from Andhra Pradesh, so I can know about these three crops. I have to know about these three crops, that finger millet and then little millet and then sky blue color one, proso millet are the major ones. So from your state, whatever it is, you need to require to know which millets based on the color that they are generating. It is a very important one. Production of millet in tons. This is the total, right? Total production of millets in India. This is last year and this is this year. So it has increased very marginally. Fine. So these are all a very important map. Now highlights of the report given by RBI about millets. So this is also important data. India accounts for nearly 80% of Asia's millet production. That means among the Asia continent we have a number of countries. Out of that 80% is produced by India itself, and for the world all the countries together 20%. These figures are very important, right? For Asia it is contributing 80% from Asia, from whole world it is 20%. But the acreage as well as production, that means the area that we are cultivating and also production per area, how much we are producing, both have stagnated over the years. In the last decade or so, it has been stagnated. It is not increased, right? India's millet productivity is lower than China, Ethiopia, Russia in 2022. That means in terms of production or productivity, that means the per area production is very less compared to these states or these countries. And among the Indian states, Rajasthan is the top producer of millet, followed by Karnataka. Top two you can remember. So you may not answer Rajasthan because so there is a desert and all, how we can produce. No, drought resistant, that means most of the farmers grow millets because they have less amount of water. That is the logic you need to find. So Rajasthan followed by Karnataka is the top two states which are producing the millets, right? Any doubts in this? I hope this is clear. Yes, correct, Malini. Yes, sorghum millet is corn. Yes, jowar. It is not corn, it is a jowar, right? Next article about Nipah virus. Last before article. Scientists at the Institute of Advanced Virology at Thonakkal. Anyone from Kerala? So you might be aware. Thonakkal is a place where this Institute of Advanced Virology is located. And these people, these scientists have created Nipah virus like particles, small particles like how virus and all present. So same to test so if there is an artificial production, we can test in the laboratory and we will know how they are working, how they are spreading this disease and all. So artificially Nipah virus particles has been created by these scientists. That's why we are taking. Now it is up to us to know about Nipah virus as well. So Nipah virus is a zoonotic disease. That means it is spreads through the animals. Tell me what actually is a vector-borne disease? What is vector-borne disease? Anyone? Vector-borne disease means it is spreads through mosquitoes, and zoonotic means spreads from animals to humans, right? It is a zoonotic disease, one important thing, and then it is caused by virus, especially from the paramyxoviride family. So this virus is of this family, that is also important. And it was first broke in Malaysia and Singapore in 1998, and 1999. So it is not from Africa, rather it is from the Southeast Asia, very important one to be remembered. First is discovered from Malaysia and Singapore, right? And for the first time they were identified from domestic pigs, but later they were also found from the dogs and other animals, sheep and all also. So it is not exclusive to pigs, rather it can spread from any of the animals, right? And this is disease spread through fruit bats. Even from animals or from fruit bats it can spread. So you can see this diagram, picture. Either this bats has the virus, these are the carriers actually. So if they ask you carriers, that is bats. If they ask you about what you call transmitters, yeah, so those are pigs and animals. Either if these bats bite in any of the fruits like mango, any of the things, bats usually lives on the trees. So if these bats bite on the fruit and if this fruit is eaten by the people, so it can lead to the a disease, right, Nipah virus. Also, if these bats get contact with the animals and if the humans gets contact with the animals like pigs and dogs, then also it can be caused, right? A very important one to know about the transmission. Most of the students know the facts, they will by heart, but this type of mechanism or analytical things if they ask, so they will make it as a wrongs, right? Try to know about this process, how it spreads. Fine. Nipah virus first identified in Malaysia, and fruit bats are the natural hosts. These are the hosts, and these carriers or hosts, or these are the transmitters. And symptoms are fever, headache, drowsiness, mental confusion, coma, all these things are the reasons. No specific treatment for Nipah virus. Like Zika, we don't have any vaccines or we have any treatment. We don't have any treatment, right? So this is about the Zika virus, and what the scientist has done, as I said, they have generated the Nipah virus like particles so that they will know the effective mechanism, how Nipah virus spreads, how it will mutate, all these things they will come to know. That's what they have done, right? Any doubts? Okay, so this is the last article, James Webb telescope. James Webb telescope. So telescope means it is an instrument to look over the larger distances, and this is a type of telescope. Very simple. Make it as a very simple thing. Don't make complex. Understand from very basic level, so you'll be remember for longer time. So James Webb telescope has spotted the earliest known galaxy. Galaxy means a constellation of stars. So we have planets, right? Planets are revolving around the star, right, like sun, and all there are number of stars like sun, all together called as a galaxy, right? So galaxy is nothing but a constellation of stars, and a oldest galaxy was found in the space. Like galaxies keep on emerging over the period of time. Like universe has been a single particle, like a small particle, it exploded and keep on increasing. Even today universe is expanding. That's why we cannot able to know what exactly the longest distance of space. It is still evolving. Now as part of this they have identified the new galaxy, which is the oldest one till now, right? Let's know about the James Webb telescope before the discovery. James Webb telescope is a space telescope which was placed in the sun synchronous orbit. It is directly placed opposite to the sun. So this is a type of telescope not on the earth, but it is located in the space, right? It is a collaboration between NASA, European Space Agency, and Canadian Space Agency. A very, very important one. Which countries were involved in the James Webb telescope? NASA, USA, Europe Space Agency, and Canadian Space Agency. India is not there, Russia is not there, Italy Space Agency is also not there, important, right? And it was launched in space on December 20, 2021. And this is the most powerful ever infrared space telescope. So whenever telescopes are working, different ranges are there based on electromagnetic spectrum. It can be radio waves, it can be visible waves, and this telescope is working in the infrared space telescope. It has replaced the telescope Hubble. There was a Hubble telescope earlier which was actually working in a radio range, radio communication range, but now it was made advanced to the infrared range, and they have changed its name to the James Webb telescope, right? It can see backward, like what is the capacity of this telescope? They can look backward for far distance to capture the galaxies formed in the earliest times. That is the objective. It can examine the cosmic history, it can observe the stars, it can observe the solar system, everything related to the space they can observe. That is a high capacity telescope which was placed, and this was placed around 15 lakh kilometers far away from Earth, directly opposite to Sun. So this is Sun, this is Earth, and it is approximately placed here, right? It is revolving around the Sun, not around the Earth. It is revolving around the Sun, and distance is 15 lakh kilometers approximately from Earth's surface, right? Now what is the goals of James Webb telescope? Why we have placed that? Very simple one, to look back the universe. Universe was said to be born 13.5 billion years ago, right? This is the time span or age of our universe, estimated to be, not exactly accurate, estimated to be, right? And to compare the faintest early galaxies with the present galaxies. What is the difference? What is the composition? So all these things, difference has to be found by the James Webb telescope. This is the objective. And to see where stars and planetary systems are born, like evolution of universe, that is the single objective. To observe the atmospheres of different planets, all these things are the objective. Now what it has discovered? It has discovered a galaxy called JADES GS-Z14. So this name seems to be difficult, but you no need to worry to remember. Rather, if you see the option, it is nothing but the oldest ever galaxy discovered by the James Webb telescope, right? So this was found to be 290 million years after the Big Bang, like formation of universe. So universe was formed 13.5 billion years ago. After the formation of universe, after 290 million years ago, this galaxy was formed, right? So this is what it has discovered. Any doubts in this article? Any doubts? Okay, let's go to the factual pointers. Recently, Dag Hammarskjöld medal was given to the Indian person Dhananjay Kumar Singh. He is an Indian peacekeeping force. See, United Nations, which is an international organization of all the countries together, was already launched UN peacekeeping force. So wherever there is a violence, wherever there is a destruction, these police forces from all the countries together, they have to work for a certain period of time in the African, wherever there is a conflict and violence. Those are called as a UN peacekeeping force. And Dhananjay Kumar Singh was working there. He got died in the one of the conflicts, and he was given with the Dag Hammarskjöld medal. Right? This is the highest medal given for the UN peacekeeping forces. Right? So this is given for the first time for Dag Hammarskjöld. He is the person who received this medal, and the name was also given based on his name. Right? Next one, recently first discovery of living shallow marine stromatolites. So these are the, you need to know what actually are stromatolites. They are nothing but marine organisms, and for the first time living shallow. Shallow means not into the deep sea, it is near to the coast. They have discovered these stromatolites. Where they have discovered? In the Red Sea. So these are nothing but the microbial communities living on the rocks. So these are the ones. This for the first time they have discovered the living shallow, not deep, shallow waters near the Red Sea. Right? Next one, a report, Global Food Policy Report 2024 was released by International Food Process Research Institute, IFPRI. So who has released this is important. And IFPRI is an organization which was launched in 1975 to promote agriculture and food security. Right? Factual pointer. Next one, High Court judge from Goa has registered himself in the living will, as a living will for the first time. What is living will? Living will means whenever you are alive or in an active manner, you yourself will tell how to be treated when you are in a bad situation in terms of old age or in terms of any difficulty. So you yourself will give that how you need to treat during the old age or the situation where you are not able to support yourself. Right? So that is the living will. You need to understand the living will concept, and for the first time it was High Court judge has registered himself. Last fact, June 1 is celebrated as World Milk Day. World Milk Day is celebrated on June 1st, right? And it was celebrated by Food and Agriculture Organization under United Nations. Food and Agriculture Organization is a organization under UN with the headquarters at Italy, right? So this organization is supporting to enhance the awareness about the milk, importance of milk. And this year theme is focusing on vital role dairy plays in the delivering quality nutrition. So the dairy and the nutrition is the theme of this year. Fine. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in today's session? If not, we'll move to solving the MCQs. First question, which of the following are characteristics of India's coal, Indian coal, right? So which of the following are the quality of Indian coal? High in ash content, high in calorific value, high in carbon content. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3 and 1, 2. High in ash content, high in calorific value, high in carbonic content. Anyone? First one, high in ash content. Yes, high. There is a high ash content in Indian coal. That's why it is a bad quality one. Right? High in calorific value. No, there is a less calorific value. That's why it is not very efficient. We are importing. So second one is wrong. Second one. Okay, second one should be there, correct only. So 2 should be eliminated, 1 should be there, and 3. High in carbon content? No, it is a less carbon content, right? That's why it is not a good quality. Hence, answer is A. Very good. Ranjan, Ramya, Keshav and Voendila has answered it as correct. Next one, which of the following statements about Zika virus is correct? So about the Zika virus, which statements are correct? Zika virus is transmitted by mosquito that transmits the dengue. That is the first statement. Sexual transmission is not observed in Zika infection. So that is the second statement. Zika virus was first observed in Southeast Asia, in Malaysia and Singapore. This is the second statement. There is an approved vaccines against Zika virus. So what is the answer for this? They are asking the correct statement. We don't have any vaccines for Zika virus. So we have seen, right? We have discussed this. So D is wrong. Next, sexual transmission is not observed, they are saying. Sexual transmission is possible from Zika infection. So this is also we have discussed. So second statement can also be eliminated. Now you may be stuck with the first and third options. Yes, answer, please answer. Even if it is wrong, don't worry. Yes, correct. So this transmission by the mosquito that transmits the dengue, we have discussed. Dengue, chikungunya are also the same mosquito. So hence answer is A. It is not Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia was of Nipah. We have discussed Nipah. It is of Uganda, right? So this statement is also wrong. So hence answer A is correct. Correct. Yes, Ranjan, Ramya, Voendila has answered it as correct. Next one, consider the following statements about Rigveda. About the Rigveda, they are given some statements. It is the oldest among 4 Vedas. First one, it was written in Prakrit mostly, but also Pali in few areas. So they are saying it was written in Prakrit and Pali. So this is the second statement. The Rigveda is organized in 10 volumes called Mandalas. So what is the answer? First one, yes, this is the oldest of 4 Vedas, right? Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvana Veda. So first statement is correct and hence B is eliminated. It was written in Prakrit and Pali. No, it is written in Sanskrit completely, right? So second statement is wrong and hence D is also wrong. Rigveda is organized into 10 volumes called mandala. So we have seen this, right? So this is also correct. Hence, answer is C. Yes, only Ramya has answered it as correct. Yes, Ranjan has also answered it as correct. Fine. Next question. Which of the following statements with reference to Vivekananda Rock Memorial is correct? About the Vivekananda Rock Memorial, they have asked the question. It is built on small island of Tamil Nadu in honor of Swami Vivekananda. First statement. Second statement, it is surrounded by Lakkadiv Sea. So it is saying that it is surrounded by Lakkadiv Sea. The Vivekananda Rock Memorial was inaugurated by President Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So this is the third statement. Yes, so Indula, for the past question it is correct. Now tell me the fourth question answer. This is correct only, small island on the honor of Swami Vivekananda. First should be there, very direct statement. It is surrounded by Lakkadiv Sea. Yes, it is surrounded by Lakkadiv Sea. So here Lakkadiv Sea and then Arabian Bay of Bengal. So this is also correct. Right? Second is also correct. Third one, it was inaugurated by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Wrong. It was done by V.V. Giri as a president. Right? So third statement is wrong. And hence A is correct. Yes, only Ranjan has answered it as correct. Very good. Last question for today. From which of the following countries does India receive the highest FDI equity inflow during 2000 and 2024? Tell me which country we have received the highest FDI inflows in 2002 2024. It is not last financial year, but the last 24 years. Yes, Ramya, for the fourth question it is A. We have seen this is Mauritius followed by Singapore. Last year it was Singapore, but in the last 24 years it is Mauritius. So this is fifth question is answer B. Right? Singapore is of last year, not the last 24 years. That's why I stressed it there. You need to remember that as well. Right? So Mauritius is the answer, not the Singapore. Right? Singapore is of last year. Fine. That is of today's session. There's a lot of facts. Of course, you need to revise. You need to keep preparing. That's how you need to enrich your content and you'll answer or you'll score more. Right? So that is of today's session. I hope it was fine and have a great evening. Thank you.